going to play through them together. Okay, here we go. Same thing. We're going to do each line twice using that same rhythmic pattern. 3 and 4. And. Okay, then key of C again. Okay, now I'm going to go on to the key of B flat, but I think this is a little low. Let me go back to my piano view here. I think this is too low. It's starting to sound a little boggy. So I'm going to invert it here for the key of B flat. I'm going to put that up there. Here's a good rule of thumb. A good rule of thumb is to keep your left hand in and around middle C, which means no lower than an E below middle C. Here's middle C. No higher than a G. If you can remember that to stay in this range here, that's best. I think this is a little low sounding. So I'm going to flip my 3rd and 7 up here. Then the next key, this is cool. Key of A flat sounds good there. Key of G flat sounds good. And then this is a little low down here again. See, I'm down on an E. I'm going to flip up in the key of E. And then we can go for a while there. And then I'm going to trade out here again. Oh no, sorry, that's the same, yep. This one, key of B, which is C sharp minor. I might bring it up here. You know what I mean? So just, it needs to be in and around here. You can't just keep going down. You'll end up down in the bowels of the piano. Okay, so if you need to take time to correct these right now, go ahead and do so and come back. But anyway, right now we're going to do each line twice, me kicking bass, you using two-handed 3rds and 7s through this page, 3/3 and 7s. Cool, here we go. By the way, on my Drum Genius app, this is the medium swing 1 basic ride pattern. Okay, Drum Genius is a great app, so I highly recommend it. All right, kids, here we go, and I mean kids of all ages. And 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 3 and 4, and key of C again. Going on, key of B flat. 3 and 4. Same key. Going on, key of A flat. Going on, key of G flat. I might move up for this next one, definitely. Yeah. This is the key of E. Again, the key of E. Key of D, dog. 2 sharps. Again, same thing. already moved back kind of down toward the lower part, right? So I'm going to move back up for this last key. Key of A flat. I'm sorry, E flat. So remember, when you're playing them, you're using two hands, doubling them, and your hands should be operating together. Like these two things are locked in place, right? I don't want to see this. Kitten on the keys. No kitten on the keys. We need to have some oomph when we comp or we'll get buried in the band, right? So we want to have some weight behind it. So think about that. And one thing that you want to also might have noticed is I'm not lifting off the notes like we've been trained to do our whole life. And the reason being is we need to have it some punctuation, right? So when I lift, you know, that changes the whole punctuated thing. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. So we need to hands down. Think Bach, think any kind of 20th century Bartok maybe, you know, hands in a downward position when you comp. Now, lastly, you need to memorize these, okay? So flip over to this 2-5-1 exercise in fourths, and I want you to play through all your thirds and sevens in this pattern with no notes, nothing being written in, okay? So we're going to do this again 2 times each line, but now we are not going to have any notes. We're just going to read down the page and we're going to memorize our thirds and sevens. If you need to look at my hand placement, go ahead. Here we go. So this is the 2-5 exercise in fourths. Now again, you guys are playing two-handed thirds and sevens, right? I'm going to play the bass notes down here, so don't do what I'm doing. Play the two-handed thirds and sevens up here in the middle of the piano. And again, keep your left hand between E and G. Just keep it glued to middle C area and you'll be okay. I tell you what, let's change the comping pattern. Let's go 1, 2, It's just a variation on that other pattern. We're going to add 2 eighth notes on beat 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and. check something out. Look at this sheet here. I'm going to try to move it up. Hopefully it's not too blurry there. But you notice that we're in the key of whatever the one chord is, and the one chord is here in the third column. So I was saying for that first line, we're in the key of C because the first chord is a 2 chord, right? What's 2 in the key of C? D is 2 in the key of C, and so on. So when I was calling out keys, I'm looking at the third column. I'm looking at what is the one chord. Don't look at all that other messy stuff that's in there. We'll get to that eventually. All right, so that's a good 3rd and 7 workout, but it would be fun to put this to a tune. Why don't we take a look at Take the A Train? Now, what we would do with this tune is we would pretend that this first chord, that's just a C on your page, is a C major 7. And then a D7 is a dominant chord, D minor 7, G7, and so on. So if you just think of all of those as being 7th chords, then we can play this tune, okay? So I would look at this tune as, you must take the A train, do, zuba, dooby, abba, booby, adam, A minor. So you want to apply these 3rds and 7s now to a tune. So go ahead and stop the tape and mark in your 3rds and 7s if you have to, but try not to mark them in on your 2-5-1s. Like on the second line, there's a strong 2-5-1 there, and we have a lot of these. 2-5-1 and C, 2-5-1 and C. That happens a gazillion times, so you should try to memorize that. There's another 2-5-1 coming into the bridge, into the B section on the F major 7 chord. All right, so the next thing to do would be to apply this to a tune. And what I would do is I play 3rds and 7s in the left hand and the melody in the right hand. And I didn't dial up a track, but there's plenty of play along tracks online. You could do, just Google Take the A Train backing track. And then you could play this tune like this. 2, 3, 4. Here's the second ending. Now, it may sound empty to you, but that's because we're missing the bass. If I was playing 3rds and 7s, I'll sing the melody. 1, 2, 3, 4. See how great that sounds. Right there, I need my 3rd hand again. I could do bass, left, I could do extra hand, left hand, right hand, playing the melody. So the next step would be to take a tune like Take the A Train and play them all with 3rds and 7s. Then play the blues with 3rds and 7s. Everything is about 3rds and 7s. You're going to hear that over and over and over again in life. And all your improv is based off 3rds and 7s. All kinds of tunes are based off of 3rds and 7s. And all kinds of voicings coming up from this point forward are all going to be inclusive of the 3rds and 7s contained within the chords. So you must learn them. That's step number 1. And again, go check out Miles Davis, Freddie Freeloader, with the amazing and fantastic and very famous Wynton Kelly on piano, and you'll hear that his left hand is all 3rds and 7s of the chords. It's a blues. It's kind of a blues, a variation on the blues, and that is really the essence of the blues. So go check that out. When you get all this learned, come back and we'll look at some other voicings. All right, great job, you guys and gals.